It's a wealthy expat here with Ahmed from Bit Estate. He is one of our real estate managers here and helping you buy real estate in Dubai. Which deals should you take advantage of? Where should you buy? And what type of properties? We're going to discuss many things, many questions that you wealthy expats have. The main one being choosing the right property. Here we have clients that have bought more than $10 million in properties from you and with you. So you definitely have a lot of insight into the market. Just give a quick introduction and then tell people how the process of choosing property here in Dubai is and what things they should be looking at.
Happy to be here, Rafael. Thank you so much for having me on your channel. Choosing a property in Dubai can be a very exciting journey to be on. Definitely choosing the right property for you depends on what you are looking for. So we have a vast diversity of properties, all the way from commercial to residential, investment properties, or properties that you want to actually live in. Obviously, it all depends on what you're looking for and what kind of property suits your needs, and then we can help you out. So when it comes to the question that everybody is asking, should we buy off plan or should we buy ready? The answer really depends on why you're buying the property. Obviously, right now in Dubai, with the market we're in right now, value for money definitely goes to buying off plan properties. But if you're looking for a house that you immediately have to move in, we can definitely find you the best deal in Dubai to do that. Our services is not only exclusive to buying primary sales, so not only through developers, but we are connected to many people that want to resell their property in Dubai in all the hot areas. So if you want to buy a house in Dubai Marina or buy a villa in Dubai Land, we are connected to a lot of landlords that are actually looking for buyers to buy their property, and we can definitely get you the best deal on the market.
And then when it comes to mortgaging property, there's a lot of clients that don't want to put the money down right away. They want to get a mortgage. How is the non-resident mortgage opportunities? How are the financing opportunities as well as for residents? Because I know for residents, you need to show proof here in the UAE with UAE banks. As a non-resident, you can get financing easier with outside banks. Can you tell us a bit about the process and the options?
Well, the beautiful thing about Dubai is, before getting into the mortgage sector, is that since Dubai's real estate market is a very competitive market, that really comes into the benefit of the investor. Because when you buy a property from a developer in Dubai, to attract you to buy the property from them, they will give you an interest-free payment plan. So that can go all the way from 1 year, 2 year, all the way up to like 4 to 5 years, depending on the developer and the kind of property you're buying. Now, some people, even 4 or 5 years is a bit of a tight timeline for them. So what we help them with is to get a non-resident mortgage. So non-resident mortgages in Dubai you can get. The only thing is you'll be capped at 60%. So you'll have to pay 40% of the net property value upfront, and then we can help you get financing for 60% of the remaining value of the property. The process is very simple. It takes a maximum of a week to get the approval if you are eligible. Usually all they ask is a passport copy and a 6-month bank statement if you're self-employed. So there's going to be a personal bank statement for 6 months, a corporate bank statement for 6 months with a license that shows your name on it. And if you're employed, just a salary certificate and a statement that shows or proves that your salary is being deposited.
Got it. And if somebody wants to buy property in the name of their company, for example, we had a client who wanted to protect his assets against any lawsuits, anything like that, you can buy property under a free zone company, mainland company, any type of company, right?
In Dubai, they make it very easy to buy a property. You can actually own a property under a company. The only thing is that this company has to be a Dubai registered company. Now, the beautiful thing about it is setting up a license in Dubai or a corporate license in Dubai is a very hassle-free process. It's also not very expensive to do. Some people, what they do is they have multiple investors and they all want to invest together. So they open a holding company and then they would have like a portfolio of properties and other things next to that. But we're helping with the property side. But that definitely does not put your name in the public, and it protects you as a person from any sort of, let's say, legal liabilities.
And if, for example, let's say one of our clients, he wants to buy property here and somebody's going to sue him or his ex-wife wants some money from him, can you look up, is there a registry where you can look up who owns what and what properties are under whose name? Because that's something that, for example, in Europe or in other places around the world, people always worry about, can somebody look me up and know what I have in case of a court case or so on?
In Dubai, as we speak, the only public register for a company is DIFC, and definitely DIFC is not a company that we're much involved in at the moment. We're involved in other free zones and other mainland setups, but in Dubai, unless you're actually in contact with the person that owns the company or is managing the company to enter into any sort of contractual agreement, it is prohibited and is restricted to be able to know who managed the company, who owns the company, and who are the shareholders of the company. So basically speaking, not only are your properties private, your entire information and the formation of the company and what kind of, let's say, shares you own or anything that you have to do with the company is completely private to you.
Good to know, because that's something that obviously the investors always worry about. When it comes to what areas around Dubai, right here we have a nice view of Emaar beachfront. We also have a nice view of the Palm and everywhere. What areas should people be buying? Because there's a lot of ads on Instagram, on Google, on YouTube that show you, oh, buy from this particular developer or buy in the middle of the desert. What are the areas that have the best rental returns? And also overall, what are the best areas for people to live in if they're going to buy property?
When it comes to the different areas, I mean, there are multiple areas right now in Dubai as a developing city that is quite hot to invest and buy properties in. Again, this takes us back to why you're buying the property. So if your investment mentality is that you want to run like properties on a short term, like Airbnb, Booking.com, then definitely something that is like an area that is touristy area where tourists are going to be looking to like stay in is definitely the best area for you. So we're talking about Dubai Marina, we're talking about downtown Dubai. Up and coming right now is Business Bay, because properties in downtown are getting inflated a lot. So now Business Bay is the next downtown coming up. And for people that are looking for a little bit of a vision in the future, I mean, Dubai Creek Harbor is absolutely doing incredible right now. When it comes to other areas, so if you're buying a property that you want to, see a capital gain on, people are really valuing privacy. So definitely I would go to an area that has like nice townhouses or villas. So anywhere from Damac Hills, Damac Lagoons, which is the up-and-coming project, Dubai Hills Estate by Emaar, Arabian Ranches 3. These are like absolute killer projects that people are seeing capital appreciation within only like 3 to 6 months from buying the property. These areas are definitely projects that you should consider if that's what you're looking for.
Perfect. Yeah, if you want more privacy, then definitely the hills are slightly away from the city. You can always get here in 20, 15 minutes, but you have those townhouses, those giant villas, and also you need to wait a while. If you buy, let's say, directly from the developer, you need to wait about 4 years for them to be done or so.
Two things that are great about off-plan properties in Dubai, aside from the fact that you will definitely see capital appreciation, is that building in Dubai is quite fast. I mean, by the DTCM, the authority that manages tourism in Dubai, there's a new map of Dubai every 6 months. So, and a third of the world's cranes as we speak are in Dubai. So that gives you an idea of how building in Dubai is taken seriously and real estate is being taken seriously. So contrary to other places around the world, when you buy an off-plan property, you can be buying an off-plan property that you're going to see capital gain on, but it's also going to be ready in only like 2 years or 3 years. So, I mean, right now on the market, the project that is going to be delayed the most in terms of construction is 2026. So that's only like 4 years from now. The longer you wait, the more the profit you're going to make when you realize the property when it's completed. It really depends on you on when you actually want to see that property being completed, basically.
Perfect. Because, for example, I'm looking to buy a lot of property here in Dubai in the, let's say, medium to long term. And there's some projects here that are specifically off plan. They're going to be built in 2024, 2025, and they sell out in 30 minutes. 1 hour. It's insane. There's a very great project that I love from Miras, the people that build the Blue Waters Island, and they have a new project called Central Park. That thing sold out in 25, 30 minutes.
If you're a good developer in Dubai, you have a good name and people trust your property, they trust your quality and they trust your build. And these are definitely the kind of projects that we are advising people to be a part of. It's a no-brainer. Right now in this market, it's a no-brainer. I mean, Dubai right now has an influx of millionaires that are buying multiple properties, even full buildings. And this is just creating waves of people that are realizing the opportunity even more. And that definitely goes into the benefit of the real estate investor, because the more the people are aware of a particular city or a particular location, the more the influx of people that want to invest in that area becomes, and in turn, the more the demand, the more the capital appreciation that you as an investor is going to make.
Let's say I'm an investor. I have $5 million. I want to invest it with you. I got the areas I want to buy half off plan, half already built, or some resale. What is the process of buying? What are the fees? Because there's no property tax, there's no transfer tax, nothing like that, but you still need to pay 4% to the land government. What is the process and what are the fees included in that process?
If we're going to divide it into two different types of transactions, so if we're going to start with the off-plan is basically straightforward. I mean, the added value that we give you with buying an off-plan property, which is direct from the developer, is we always look for your best benefits. So if you were to walk into a developer office on your own, the developer is probably going to tell you to buy what they're trying to sell. But what we help you with is basically finding you the best property that might not even be publicly available within the listings that they have. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we help you with the contracts, reading the contracts, explaining to you anything in the contract that you might want to inquire about. We help you with reminders on the installments. We help you with the handover of the property. And in the future, if you want to resell it or you want to rent it out, we can also help you with that, which are definitely services that the developer directly are not going to offer you. Okay. We go to the developer office. We decide what kind of project we want. We identify the unit or the subject unit that you want to purchase as an investor. We pay a booking fee. Usually the booking fees in Dubai for properties range between 20,000 dirhams to 5% of the property value. And usually here in Dubai, developers are going to give you anywhere between 14 days to 30 days to basically put down the down payment and sign the documents. Once the payment is allocated to your property and the developer does the developer self-registration, which is registering the property in your name from the developer side, the contracts are executed and then they're going to be couriered to the actual address that you have put in the contract of sale.
Payment is 4 to 20%. How much?
Yeah, so it depends on the project. So some projects are 10 plus 4%, so 10% down payment plus 4% registration, up to like 24%. Some projects that are like near ready, like are going to be ready in like 3 to 6 months. Usually some developers like damac are going to ask you for a 54% upfront payment. So again, it really depends on what kind of property and how long is the wait on it. But again, these are the things that we help you with, because even if, you know, they're pitching you at 54%, given that you are our client and we're looking for your best interest, we will always negotiate these terms and try to make them in your best benefit to the maximum of our capability. When it comes to the fees, it's 4% registration from the developer. There's no agency fees involved. So we're giving you this service free of charge. A lot of people ask us, I mean, do you add margins? No, we do not add any margins on the property. The property price is what is communicated by the developer, and we do not charge our clients or our investors any percentages when it comes to consultation fees, basically. It's only the 4% when it comes to a developer sale. On resale, since we're representing you and we are directly dealing with the landlord or the owner that wants to resell the property, so our agency fee is compensated by the buyer. So that's a 2% agency fee. Plus, obviously, there's the 4% again registration fee by the Dubai Land Department. There's going to be a 580 dirham title deed fee if it's already property, and it's going to be 1,040 if it's off-plan property. So that's a aqud fee. If you're buying a property that is less than 500,000 dirhams, then the trustee office fee is going to be 2,100 dirhams. That's going to be paid to the trustee, the office that is executing the transaction. And if it's going to be above 500,000 dirhams, then the trustee office fee is going to be 4,200 dirhams.
Perfect. Thank you for explaining that. And then when it comes to clients that are not ready to buy right now, or let's say they want to buy a property that's going to be ready in the long term, renting versus living, and you also mentioned that there's some places that are investments, but they're made for rental schemes. So essentially, you can't really live there. You just invest, sort of like in the Caribbean where you get citizenship by investing, but you're not really investing into something. You're more giving a guy money for a hotel. Yeah. There's similar projects to that here. Yeah?
When it comes to rental, I mean, again, rentals in Dubai run in different ways. I mean, there's the short-term rental, which is the Airbnb, Booking.com, Hotels.com, this way of renting out.
And what's the percentage that you can make as an investor from?
So I mean, actual figures that we're looking at the moment, I mean, we're managing properties in Marina and downtown and Business Bay. We're looking at least 10 to 12% per year net to the owner on the net property value that invested. That around the world, that beats anything. Yeah. That really beats anything.
That's short-term.
That's short term, yes. Long term is usually properties that, let's say, are not as touristy or do not have a touristy nature to them. So you're looking at places like maybe like damac Hills or a JVC, JVT. So you're looking at maybe apartments, but the majority of the properties in these areas are villas or townhouses. So you can do long-term rental there where somebody would just pay you post-dated checks. And that's a big advantage, because a lot of people from around the world, they might be getting good rental returns, but collecting the checks and collecting the payments month-to-month basis, especially like places in the United States or Canada, is deeming to be quite a challenging thing to do, especially with the price of the rent that are going on at the moment. So in Dubai, when somebody agrees on a particular price to rent out your property, they give you all the checks and all the payments prior to even getting the key. That's insane. That's really good, and that really benefits you because it really saves you a hassle and a lot of following up to do. And the other thing that Rafael was just mentioning right now, Dubai becoming such a touristy city. As we speak, there's 2 hotels opening in Dubai every month. The vision of Dubai at the moment is to increase the amount of tourists from 19 million to 40 million by the year of 2030, as communicated by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, which is the ruler of Dubai, almost a month ago. The influx of tourists in Dubai is definitely something that we're all witnessing, and being a part of an investment as a hotel investment can even be better investment if you were to choose the right property at the right price than anything else. So we have properties that are hotel investments in really, really prime locations like downtown Dubai. We have the Rove in City Walk. We have SLS in Business Bay. We have Seven Palm on the Palm. So we definitely have a lot of very, very lucrative hotel investments under rental schemes that are very hassle-free. You get your money It's run by a very, very prominent hotel brand. And the major benefit is, even though you're making such an amazing ROI, they give you the opportunity to stay in it 14 days a year.
Yeah, it's sort of like a Portuguese style model, Caribbean style model, but a lot more tourists, a lot more people. And also you don't have the risk in the Caribbean, at least with the hurricanes and all these things with natural disasters. They don't really happen here. It's just hot in summer. And then when it comes to the golden visa, so let's say I invest $600,000, $700,000, $2 million, $5 million, and I want to get my golden visa because you're eligible if you spend more than 550 grand plus the 4%. How is the process for the golden visa? I know there's a ton of people applying right now. What's the average timeline? And let's say, is it worth for people to get the golden visa versus a standard 2-year free zone visa and just keep extending it?
Definitely, if you can get a golden visa, get a golden visa. I mean, it sounds nicer, that's to begin with. But anyways, speaking more practically, a golden visa means that you have a residency in Dubai. You're almost a citizen of the country because you only have to renew it once every 10 years. So instead of having to come here every like a couple of years now, because they did reduce the normal residency from 3 years to 2 years, if you get a golden visa for 10 years, you're basically set for the next 10 years not to be, you don't need to go through any government work, any renewals, anything of that sort. So that's the first thing. Obviously, get a lot of priority when it comes to governmental transactions, a lot of discounts that you get. Dubai Police right now, they have a card called Isaad card, which almost gives you discounts on every single outlet in Dubai that they're actually discussing to be able to issue for golden visa holders. I mean, right now, as we speak, the UAE passport is the #1 passport in the world. And when it comes to like global ranking, I mean, Rafael is not going to be 100% on board, but that's according to multiple resources. That's what it is. So for me, let's say it's not the #1, but it's definitely the best residency that you can get anywhere around the world.
Got it. And the process for that, what's the usual timeline? So after buying the property, you have the title deed, you own the property. And what kind of properties qualify? Because I know with off-plan, you need to know a guy and that guy needs to know a guy because most people are getting rejected for off-plan golden visas.
So the process is quite simple. I mean, if it's ready property, you just get the title deed, a passport copy. If you are going to be sponsoring your wife on it or your kids, then you have to get it first. And then to put your wife as a dependent, you will need a marriage certificate that is attested by the UAE consulate in your country and then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Dubai. Same goes for your kids. You'll need to get a birth certificate and do a similar process. And then we just go to the Dubai Land Department. We apply on your behalf. You have to be there physically because there's going to be a medical test after the approval of the application to do. So that's mandatory. Usually the timeline was anywhere between a week to 14 days, but given the influx of people that are actually eligible right now and applying for it, we're looking at a maximum of, let's say, 30 days since the application date. Now, when it comes to off-plan properties, yes, there are many cases that are being rejected, but there are many cases that actually went through. It basically depends, it's a case-to-case thing, and it basically depends on a couple of things. Obviously, who is the developer? That's why when it comes to off-plan property, before the guaranteeing you let's say the benefits of the golden visa or your eligibility, we also want to be dealing with somebody that is, or a developer that does deliver on time and does deliver properties of good quality. But again, the other thing is the percentage completion of the construction. So from our cases, almost all properties that have 80% and above are getting 100% of these are getting accepted, and the vast majority of people that are trying are it's like a 50-50 chance between 60 to 80% completion. Anything less than 60 to 50% in terms of completion are getting rejected at the moment. But again, Dubai, if you buy an off-plan property, you can reach like a 30-40% milestone within a year. So if you're not going to get it immediately now, you're just going to be waiting a year for it.
And also, for example, like the Central Park that I want to buy, if you miss out on the initial sale, you can always wait 1 year. There's going to be people that bought the initial sale. Now it's built 50-60% and they want to sell. So yeah, you pay a premium, but you didn't get in on the initial sale with the rush, and now you qualify for the golden visa as well.
Again, I mean, it's when it comes to off-plan, a lot of people ask me, so if I don't buy it for the developer, can I actually buy it as a resale? Yes, you can. So that's a good point, because maybe you as an investor would invest in an off-plan property, but you want to sell it before the actual property is completed. So it's not mandatory for the property to be fully paid and fully complete to be able to sell it. Some people realize 10% capital gain just on 20% completion of the project. So that's for them is the sweet spot that they want to exit on. So we definitely can help you buy a property that is off plan. Even if it's sold or sold out with the developer, we can always find somebody who wants to resell the property even before the property is completed.
Thank you so much for your time, Ahmed. If you want to learn more about Dubai, moving to Dubai, moving your family here, then check out this video right here, the ultimate guide to moving to Dubai from my years of living here and everybody that I've met. I made that amazing guide. Check it out right now.